Leo, let's get straight to the point. You're about to win big. But there's one sacred condition. You need to stay completely alone on October 22nd. This message isn't here by accident. It didn't just pop up on your feed because the algorithm is smart. You're here because something deeper inside you is ready to break through, to step into something massive, to shift your entire destiny. Something you've been feeling is coming, even if you couldn't name it until now. October 22nd is not a random day. It's a turning point. A hidden doorway in time that only opens to those who are prepared to enter it with clarity, calm, and commitment. And if you're a Leo, someone born to lead, to rise, to shine, then this moment is carved out for you more than anyone else. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Stay alone? The whole day? Why? It's a fair question, and a powerful one. But here's the truth: the shift you're about to experience can't land in a chaotic environment. Energy can't integrate into a field that's already full of noise, opinions, distractions, or even well-meaning interference. Your victory is vibrational. That means you need to tune your frequency before it arrives. That's why the universe is calling you into silence. Into solitude. Into sacred stillness on October 22nd. Think of it this way: when something life-changing is headed your way, whether it's a financial breakthrough, a divine relationship, a calling that reshapes your future, it doesn't arrive through chaos. It arrives through resonance. And if your field is mixed up with other people's energy, their doubts, their noise, even their love, you won't hear the knock when it shows up. Leo, you are naturally magnetic. But right now, you don't need more attraction. You need precision, alignment, intention. And that's what October 22nd gives you, if you take it seriously. The signs have already been there, haven't they? The emotional overwhelm. The relationships shifting. The sense that something's off even when nothing's technically wrong. That's not confusion, that's transition. It's your energy recalibrating. It's your spirit getting ready to host something bigger than anything you've allowed in before. And here's where it gets real. You will be tested. People will call. Things will come up. Invitations will seem tempting. Obligations will appear urgent. But none of it, absolutely none, is more important than this one sacred 24-hour window. If you say yes to others that day, you may be saying no to yourself without realizing it. So what do? You get clear. You say no. You block off the day. You protect it like your life depends on it, because your next chapter might. I want to take a moment to thank you, truly, for being here. Every like, every comment, every time you hit subscribe or share a video, you're helping grow a space that's more than content, it's a soul community. One that believes in transformation, timing, and truth. I see you, and I appreciate you more than words can say. But Leo, don't just passively hear this. Let me hear from you. Drop a 777 in the comments if this message resonates. Let the universe know that you're listening. Let your higher self know you're showing up. This is your way of saying, I'm ready. I claim it. I accept what's coming. I make space for it. And believe me, you'll want to stay with me until the very end of this video. Because what the universe is lining up for you right now is bigger than you think. Let's dive deeper into it, together. Leo, If you're feeling a strange tension in the air, a mix between anticipation and stillness, you're not imagining things. You're tuning into a very real shift that's unfolding all around you, and within you. October 22nd is not just another date on the calendar. It's a threshold. A gateway moment designed specifically for you to step into a new alignment, one that has the potential to shift your direction in ways that are both visible and deeply internal. That's why you're being called into stillness. Not as punishment, but as preparation. In astrology, timing is everything. And right now, the timing is rare. The full moon just behind us, on October 21st, didn't close a cycle, it opened a portal. Especially for fire signs like you, Leo, the lunar energy passing through the Aquarius-Leo axis is activating your higher self's vision, clarity, and calling. And with the sun hovering near the north node, that karmic compass that whispers where you're destined to grow, the sky is gently but firmly pointing you forward. But to move toward that direction, something inside you must become very quiet first. This is what makes October 22nd so important. It isn't just about staying home or being by yourself. It's about resetting your frequency. Imagine your life like a radio dial. For most of the year, you've been scanning static, picking up bits of this and that, advice from others, energy from the past, background noise from everyday life. But on this day, the universe gives you one clear signal. A clean channel. And the only way to hear it is to turn everything else down. This day asks you to listen in a different way. Not with your ears, but with your nervous system. With your breath. With that part of you that knows something is coming, even before you can put words to it. That subtle knowing is more powerful than any outside validation you'll ever receive. That's why stillness is so essential now. Not because you have to escape the world, but because you're finally being invited to step back into yourself, into your natural rhythm, your truest vibration, your clearest voice. Astrologically, this is also a time when Pluto, the planet of deep transformation, forms a sharp T-square with the Sun and Moon, activating an inner pressure point. It might feel like something old is trying to rise up. It might feel like discomfort, or like a gentle inner squeeze. Don't push it away. Don't distract yourself. That pressure isn't here to break you. It's here to birth you. It's pressing against your fear, not to expose it, but to empty it, to make room for something more aligned, more authentic. If you've ever felt like the universe was preparing you for something, but you didn't know when it would land, this is your moment. This is the quiet before the shift. This is the day when the energetic groundwork is being laid. And yes, it might feel subtle. You may not see fireworks. But subtle doesn't mean small. In fact, most of the big shifts start quietly, like seeds cracking open beneath the soil. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to show up fully, honestly, inwardly. Let this day be your sacred pause. The moment where you stop chasing and start receiving. Where you trade urgency for presence. Where you let go of trying to manifest, and instead become the person who's ready to receive. If you can protect this day, if you can carve out the space to simply be, you won't miss your moment. You'll meet it with clarity. With trust. With quiet confidence. And that's how change happens. Not all at once. But precisely, deeply, in alignment with something greater than you, and yet, something that lives inside you too. So if you're still with me, if this message resonates somewhere in your chest or your gut, I invite you to comment below. Let me know you hear it. Let me know you're claiming it. Because sometimes the simple act of acknowledgement is the most powerful way to begin. The days leading up to October 22nd from the 17th through the 21st have likely felt disjointed. Maybe you found yourself unusually restless, unable to focus. You might have felt moments of clarity followed by unexpected emotional drops. Old habits resurfacing. People you thought were long gone suddenly texting again. Maybe even moments where you questioned whether you were on the right path at all. If any of that sounds familiar, know this: nothing is wrong with you. You're not off track. In fact, you're more aligned than ever, and what you've been feeling is part of something much bigger. Energetically, this past week has been a detox. A deep, invisible cleanse of patterns, fears, and fragments of your past that no longer fit where you're going. Think of it like preparing a sacred space. You don't paint the walls before sweeping the floor. You don't move new furniture into a dusty room. The same is true with energy. Before something powerful and beautiful can enter your life, the space inside you must be cleared to hold it. That's what these last few days have been doing, clearing you. And sometimes, clearing doesn't feel gentle. Sometimes it stirs up everything that's been hiding beneath the surface. The unresolved tension. The buried self-doubt. The quiet resentment. Even the memories you thought you were done with. They resurface, not to haunt you, but to leave you if you're willing to let them. From an astrological point of view, the moon's journey through these days activates emotional territory, especially as it moves through mutable and water signs that naturally loosen old energy. It's like the tide coming in just enough to loosen what's stuck along the shore, then drawing it out so the beach can breathe again. That's what's been happening inside of you. Not chaos. Not regression. But release. And if we bring it back to something deeply human, something we've all lived through, it's that right before clarity comes confusion. Right before peace, there's restlessness. Right before a major win, there's often a test of your focus, your patience, your ability to stay grounded when everything around you is shaking. The universe isn't trying to break you. It's trying to see if you're ready to carry what you've been asking for. This is also where the law of attraction meets self-responsibility. We can visualize all we want, but energy doesn't lie. If your nervous system is still wired for survival, if your heart is still carrying the weight of things you haven't released, the universe will wait. Not to punish you but to protect you. Because real blessings don't just feel good when they arrive. They require capacity. They ask us to stretch into the version of ourselves that can hold more, trust deeper, love more cleanly, and make decisions that align with who we're becoming, not who we were. That's what this stretch of days has been about. You're not being punished. You're being restructured. Rewired. Reminded. You're being emptied not to feel hollow, but so you're open enough to actually receive. That's the part most people skip. The art of letting go so something else can grow. So if you've been crying more than usual, questioning everything, losing patience, or feeling strangely disconnected from your old motivations, let it be. It means it's working. It means your old frequency is dissolving so your new one can rise. And if you felt completely still, like you're floating in some strange, quiet void, even that is valid. Because sometimes the biggest recalibrations happen in silence, when nothing outside of us is moving, but everything inside is rearranging itself. There is no correct way to experience this energy. But there is a reason you're still here, listening, breathing, showing up. You're being tuned, aligned, prepared. You are not behind. You are being made ready. Take a deep breath and let that sink in. This was never about failure. It was always about refinement. And you're right on time. October 22nd isn't just a date, it's a doorway. Not one you walk through physically, but energetically. It's the kind of day that doesn't ask for your effort, but your presence. It invites you not to do more, but to be less available to everything that's not aligned with where you're going. Think of it as a sacred pause, a 24-hour ritual disguised as an ordinary Tuesday. But if you treat it with the reverence it deserves, this day has the power to change how you receive everything that follows. The truth is, most of us rarely create space for change. We want transformation, but we stay tangled in habits, distractions, and conversations that keep us vibrating at the same old frequency. October 22nd is your chance to do it differently. To clear the channel. To declutter the space not just around you, but inside you. And to signal to the universe that you are, in fact, ready. Ready for what you've been asking for. Ready for what you've outgrown to finally fall away. Ready for what's next to come through without resistance. That's why this day is about silence. Not silence as in punishment, but silence as in purification. For one day, no conversations. No notifications. No checking messages, no mindless scrolling, no explanations. This isn't about being antisocial. It's about becoming fully present with your own energy, letting it rise, recalibrate, and refine itself without being pulled into someone else's. Even those you love can carry vibrations that mix with yours in ways that blur your clarity. For this one day, that clarity needs to be yours alone. The number 22, in numerology, is considered a master number not because it's superior, but because it holds energy that can shape reality. It represents legacy, foundation, building something that lasts. And when this number is activated like it is on this date, it asks you to take responsibility for what you're constructing with your time, your thoughts, your energy. Meanwhile, the total of the date, 2 + 2 + 1 + 0, gives us 5, the number of freedom and breakthrough. Together, they form a powerful equation: stable foundation plus transformative motion. Grounded expansion. So what do you actually do on this day? You treat it like a personal ritual. In the morning, start with stillness. Light a candle. Sit in quiet with your breath and a piece of clear quartz or any grounding stone. Set the intention not to manifest, but to receive. Let that be your mantra: today I make space to receive. Let yourself be a little empty, not numb, but clear. Then, as midday comes, move your body. Gently. With love. A walk in sunlight. A few slow stretches. Nothing fancy. Nothing forced. Let your body feel safe again in slowness. In the afternoon, take a few minutes to write down 33 things you're grateful for. Not just the big wins, but the small comforts: the warm tea, the quiet breath, the lesson learned through hardship. Gratitude isn't just a feeling. It's a frequency. It softens resistance. It opens channels. It invites grace. And when you end your day in that vibration, you're essentially tuning your entire field to say, yes, I'm ready. What you're doing throughout this day is simple, but not easy. You're practicing energetic sovereignty. You're choosing not to be reactive. You're choosing to hold your own signal. That may feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable at first. But discomfort is often the first sign that you're entering a new alignment. That you're no longer outsourcing your peace. That you're finally becoming a match to the thing you've been praying for, not by chasing it, but by clearing space for it to come to you. Let this day be your yes. Let it be your line in the sand. Let it be the moment you finally stop explaining, justifying, overdoing, and start simply allowing. You don't need to convince anyone that you're ready for more. You just need to show up for yourself fully, softly, and with trust. And if any part of you doubts whether one quiet day can really change things, just remember this: almost everything meaningful begins in silence. Seeds sprout in darkness. Healing begins in rest. And the most important things we've ever known, clarity, purpose, love, always speak in whispers first. October 22nd is the whisper. Listen well. By now, you've probably started to feel it, that quiet pressure in the background of your life. Like something is shifting but hasn't fully landed yet. Maybe an opportunity is hovering just outside your field of vision. Maybe you're feeling called to make a decision, but the path still feels a little foggy. That's not hesitation. That's alignment taking shape. It's the universe moving you into position. And the key thing to remember is this: the win is already on the way, but it can only land where there's space for it. Opportunities don't just show up randomly. They're a response to readiness. Not just intellectual readiness, but energetic. They arrive when your frequency matches the reality you're asking for. And October 22nd is the reset point, the quiet space where your energy field opens wide enough to hold what's next. But only if you're willing to clear out the noise that's been cluttering your signal. For some of you, this win may come in the form of finances. A job offer you never expected. A project that suddenly gains momentum. An investor or client that changes everything. But it won't look like the dream wrapped in perfect packaging. It'll show up subtly. As a quiet nudge. A message you almost skip. A conversation you didn't think would lead anywhere. That's why presence matters. That's why solitude matters. You have to be clear enough, steady enough to recognize the moment when it appears. For others, this shift may come through love. But not just any love, the kind that aligns with who you're becoming, not who you used to be. And that kind of relationship doesn't arrive when your heart is still tethered to old wounds. It doesn't grow when you're still chasing closure or hoping someone else will fix the ache. It begins when you've made peace with the quiet parts of yourself. When you no longer need another person to fill the silence but are ready to let someone witness it with you. That's why the space created on October 22nd is so vital. Because love isn't found in busyness. It's recognized in stillness. And for many of you, this moment is about purpose. A sense of mission that's been circling just outside your awareness, a creative vision, a new career path, a shift in your role in the world. But here's the thing, clarity doesn't shout. It whispers. And if your mind is full of everyone else's voices, their opinions, their doubts, their ideas of what success should look like, you won't hear your own truth breaking through. The download you're meant to receive can't come while you're still explaining yourself to people who were never meant to understand. This is why solitude isn't isolation. It's alignment. It's a conscious choice to protect the soil your future is trying to grow in. And yes, it might feel uncomfortable. You might question whether it's really necessary to be so intentional. But ask yourself this: have the biggest turning points in your life ever come from noise, or from moments when everything got quiet enough for something new to emerge? The truth is, people miss their moment not because they're not good enough, or ready enough, or deserving enough. They miss it because they were too distracted to notice it had arrived. They miss it because they were still explaining their vision to someone who didn't have the capacity to see it. They miss it because they didn't trust that one day of sacred pause could change everything. Don't let that be your story. Let this be the moment you lean in, not to effort, but to intention. Let this be the day you say, "I'm not answering the door unless it's destiny." You've worked too hard, healed too much, waited too long to miss what's coming now. So take the day. Protect it. Fill it with presence, stillness, and trust. Because the opportunity, the shift, the breakthrough, it's already on its way. And when it arrives, you'll know. You'll be ready. Because you chose to listen. You chose to prepare. You chose to be exactly where your next chapter could find you. There's something strangely predictable about the moments right before breakthrough. It's almost like the universe wants to make sure you're truly ready, not just in theory, but in practice. That's why, as October 22nd approaches, you might start noticing unexpected invitations. Random messages from people you haven't spoken to in a while. A last-minute work request. Someone needing your help, just for a minute. Or even a fun opportunity that looks harmless but pulls your energy outward when you know inward is where you're being called. It's not a coincidence. It's a test. These moments don't show up to punish you. They're not here to make your life harder. They arrive as mirrors asking one simple question: are you really ready to choose yourself? Not conceptually. Not someday. But right now. Are you ready to say no to what pulls you away, so you can say yes to what's quietly trying to arrive? Because the truth is, there will always be noise. There will always be something or someone asking for your time, your presence, your attention. But not everything that's urgent is important. Not every message needs a reply. Not every invitation deserves your energy. And especially on this day, this sacred, quiet day, the greatest danger isn't missing out on what's happening around you. It's missing out on what's trying to unfold within you. There's a reason this day requires solitude. Not because you're meant to isolate, but because you're being asked to step into a deeper kind of devotion, one that doesn't come from others affirming your value, but from you protecting your alignment. The world will keep spinning. But on October 22nd, you have permission to pause. Not to escape, but to attune. This is where discipline becomes sacred. And it's where most people stumble. Because it's easy to say you want change. It's harder to create the conditions for it. It's easy to say you're ready to win. But when the test comes wrapped in distraction, most people still answer the door. That's why this final step isn't just about knowing what to do, it's about choosing to do it. Choosing to honor what feels inconvenient. Choosing to sit with discomfort instead of filling it. choosing to believe that your future is more important than your fear of disappointing someone today. And if you've made it this far, if you've been resonating with every word, every feeling, every intuitive nudge, then maybe this moment is your invitation to draw the line. To say, this time, I don't need to explain. To say, this time, I'm choosing differently. Not because it's dramatic, but because it's sacred. If this lands with you, if it feels like truth even when it feels hard, then I encourage you to write it somewhere, say it out loud, or drop it in the comments below as a promise to yourself. I will be alone on October 22nd. I am preparing to win. I am ready. That declaration isn't about magic. It's about alignment. It's about presence. And it's about choosing to be fully awake when your blessing knocks. It's not a passive wish. It's a conscious stance. So when the phone rings, when the message comes, when the world pulls pause, breathe. Ask yourself, am I choosing connection or distraction? Am I acting from fear or from faith in what's unfolding? Am I keeping my energy pure enough for clarity to land? Because this isn't just another moment. This is the moment. One day. One choice. One powerful no that becomes the gateway to every yes your soul has been waiting to speak. And this time, Leo, you're not missing it. You're meeting it fully, quietly, and on your own terms. Leo, you are not just someone waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle in motion. You are the force that changes the energy in a room, the spark that turns silence into meaning, the presence that shifts the atmosphere around you. And if no one has told you this in a while, let this moment remind you. The power has always been in you. Not in the circumstances. Not in the perfect timing. In you. October 22nd is not about luck. It's about conscious alignment. It's about proving to yourself that you're willing to stop chasing and start choosing peace over pressure, clarity over chaos, presence over performance. It's not easy. But it is powerful. And you are more than capable. You don't need anyone to hand you your destiny. You are already rewriting it with every choice you make. And this day, this one quiet day, is a declaration. It's you stepping forward not because you're desperate for something new, but because you're ready to honor the version of yourself who already knows what's next. So here's my invitation to you, make a choice, not later, but now. Leave a comment below with 777 to mark your commitment to yourself. To declare, in this public space, that you are saying yes to the calling inside you. That you're no longer waiting for proof, you're becoming the proof. And if someone you care about is also standing at the edge of something big, share this video with them. Don't keep the clarity to yourself. Let this be a ripple. Let this be a shared awakening. Maybe this message is the very thing they need to hear, just like you needed to hear it now. Because something happens after October 22nd. Subtle, perhaps. But undeniable. You'll feel it in your chest, a calm you haven't felt in weeks. You'll sense it in your thoughts, a direction that was foggy suddenly clearing. You'll watch your energy shift and the world respond accordingly. What you attract will begin to look and feel different. Because you will be different. You'll be operating at a new frequency, one that doesn't beg for blessings but allows them to arrive. So please, remember this, even when the world pulls at you, even when life gets loud again, you'll always have this day. You'll always have this proof that you can choose yourself. That you can protect your energy. That you can show up fully for the life you were born to live. From my heart to yours, from this space of deep presence we've created together, I want to thank you for watching, for listening, for feeling. Every like, every comment, every share, and every subscriber is a thread in the web of soul connection we are weaving here. You are a part of this family and your energy matters here. This is eternal mindfulness, and I'm honored to walk this path beside you. May October 22nd bring you alignment, clarity, and the beginning of your next radiant season. You are worthy. You are ready. And the moment is already on its way to meet you.